From losing her dad before she was born, to appearing on multiple TV shows to promote her rapping, and pushing through becoming an all-star basketball player in high school and now in college, and getting signed with Roc Nation. This is just some of where they are now. Flau'Jae.
Flau'Jae. Let me tell you what y'all
J-Bo on the beat.
Getting green, why you hate? Count checks, why you hate? Roll lace, why you hate? Finna flex, why you hate? With my team, why you hate? Chasing dreams, why you hate? Shoes clean, why you hate? I hit my lane when you hate.
Born Flau'Jae Johnson on November 3rd, 2003 in Savannah, Georgia. This currently makes her 19. Born to parents Jason, who was a rapper and went by the stage name Camouflage, and mother Kia. Now, Camouflage, who was also part of a group with two other members called Crime Affiliates. Camouflage had already met and made friends with rappers in Georgia like Ludacris and T.I., who were also up and coming around his time. In July of 2000, Camouflage released his solo debut album called I Represent, which climbed to number 58 on the Billboard Rap and R&B Top 100s chart. Camouflage's second album, that was called Strictly for the Streets, Drugs, Sex, and Violence Volume 1, was released in 2001 and debuted at number 53 on the Billboard's Rap and R&B Top 100s charts. And the album even ended up going gold. Now, Camouflage energetic delivery and profane honesty lyrics about the struggles of being raised in the streets of the housing projects in Savannah, Georgia, is what brought a lot of viewers to his music and is what made Camouflage a star on the rise in the late 1990s and the early 2000s. Now, in September of 2002, Camouflage was shot, but thankfully he only suffered minor injuries. Camouflage was able to make a full recovery and was able to put out his next album called Keeping It Real that same year. Camouflage was an independent artist, but was able to sell between 30 to 50,000 albums, each album that came out of his three. This ended up getting the attention of Universal Records, which did go ahead and sign him. Unfortunately, Camouflage didn't get a chance to blow up being in and out of jail. By the age of 20, Camouflage had already had a lengthy arrest record. Also, sadly, May 19th of 2003, when Flau'Jae's mom, Kia, was just 6 months pregnant with Flau'Jae, Jason Camouflage Johnson was S-H-O-T, I can't say that on YouTube, down right outside a recording studio on the west side of Savannah, Georgia. Now, it is speculated that some residents of Savannah, Georgia, who had their ears to the streets around that time, knew that it was a person named Dorian Orr. But of course, in the street, you don't snitch. Now, Camouflage's Killing has not been solved to this day, and that is probably the reason why. Now, how the story goes, though, is one of Camouflage's close friends and associates named Michael Grant, S-H-O-T, a known coke dealer from Savannah, Georgia named Felix Scott. Now, Felix Scott was said to be a close friend of Dorian Orr, who for revenge, in turn, S-H-O-T, Michael Grant. And 2 days later, Camouflau'Jae got SHOT outside that recording studio, which has since actually been shut down. Now, on February 3rd of 2005, Dorian Orr was actually found guilty for the SHOOTING of Michael Grant, and even named a suspect for the shooting of Camouflau'Jae. But unfortunately for Camouflau'Jae's friends and family, Dorian Orr was never officially charged with the shooting of Camouflau'Jae. Now, this is sad, as Camouflau'Jae was only 21 years old. Now, the reason why I did want to give a little backstory about Camouflau'Jae was because I didn't see a lot of videos about him on YouTube, but I didn't think I had enough information to make a whole video about him. And I am doing the series of where they are now, so I really wanted to focus on them. And I felt like telling some of his story will allow you to understand how Flau'Jae thinks, where Flau'Jae comes from, and hopefully this would help you get a better understanding of her background. Also, so you can see where she gets her style, because you know, since she was a baby, that her mom, along with Camouflau'Jae's other friends and family, have been telling her stories about her dad all along, which kind of, I'm thinking, rubbed off on her. Now, to go on with Flau'Jae, on a brighter note, her first name is really Flau'Jae. That is her real first name. Now, her mom, Kia, who is currently also her manager, went on to tell the Washington Post how the name came about, saying that when she found out she was pregnant with Flau'Jae, she told Camouflau'Jae and that he was going to be a father, who she also was engaged to. Now, Camouflau'Jae then said to her to give him a part of him and thought Flau'Jae Monet just sounded right. You know, like Camouflau'Jae, Flau'Jae, he said it rhymed. And he wanted her to have a name that rhymed. Now, Kia said that she didn't really care for the name because she felt like it would be too hard for Flau'Jae to get a good job, which Camouflau'Jae countered by saying, hey, my daughter isn't going to be sending her resume out. She's going to be accepting resumes. Now, that's a really good point, especially the way Flau'Jae's life is going so far, which I'll talk about more later on in the video. What he says seems about right. Now, I did not want to leave out that Flau'Jae does have two brothers. One brother named Yoden Malturi, who is currently a singer. And her other brother's name is Nixon, who is 4 years old, which her mom Kim had with her current husband. Now, as early as the age of 7, Flau'Jae started playing basketball and also rapping. She got so good at both that in December of 2013, Flau'Jae went on tour alongside the group Mindless Behavior and the OMG Girls on the All Around the World tour. It's said that the rapper from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Now, side note, it is said that the rapper from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Bootsy, is actually Flau'Jae's uncle. And he is actually the one who reached out to Jermaine Dupri to put her on the TV show called The Rap Game. Now, for anyone who hasn't seen the show or any of my previous videos of Where Are They Now of the other Rap Game contestants, the Rap Game is a competition-like TV show where teens compete with other teens around their age for a recording contract. This is with executive producer of the show, The Rap Game, and the record label owner of So Def, JD. Now, at the age of 12, Flau'Jae would compete on the third season of the Rap Game TV show that premiered from July 27th of 2017 to April 7th of 2017, with the ratings for this season being lower than the first season and even slightly a little lower than the second season, but was still pretty high for that time. Unfortunately, though, Flau'Jae did not go home with the recording contract, as she actually ended up coming in last place in the whole competition, with Nova being the winner of that season and getting the recording contract with JD and his label So Def. Flau'Jae would later on go on to do an interview at the age of 16 with Sway's Universe on Shade 45 XM with Sway in the morning, where she would go on to explain her experience in the Rap Game TV show, saying that JD taught her a lot, including studio etiquette along with interview etiquette. Now at the age of 16 and using everything he taught her. Now to go back a little bit, at the age of 14, Flau'Jae would actually go on to compete in the 13th season of America's Got Talent. This show premiered from May 29th, 2018 to September 19th of 2018. Unfortunately, Flau'Jae did not win this competition either, but did make it all the way to the quarterfinals. At the same time, Flau'Jae was all the while honing her skills on the basketball court, becoming a great basketball player in high school, as in one game, she was able to put up 40 points and got 14 rebounds all by herself. This will make her become one of the top players of the country, ranking at number 26 in the whole country and number 6 in her position as a guard. She was also named MVP of the Jordan Brand Classic game and went to go ahead and play in the All-Star game for the top high school players all around the country. This caught the attention of the LSU Tiger Scouts, who recruited her at the age of 18 for the 21-22 season to current. This also came with a full scholarship. Now, while playing for the LSU Tigers, Flau'Jae was named and played in the LSU Namath and McDonald's All-American teams. Also participated in another All-Star game for the top college students all around the country called the SummerSlam Classic game. Now in April, she will be the only girl at the Iverson Classic, another elite showcase for basketball stars. Of course, you know Flau'Jae is still doing her music, releasing her first album with Roc Nation called On My Own on November 1st, 2019. She would later go on to also say in the interview with Sway in the morning how she ended up signing with Roc Nation. She stated that Roc Nation reached out to her management team, which is her mother, to get her to play a basketball game, to where her mom pushed her music and said, hey, listen to this. She does rapping as well, and gave them her music to listen to. After execs heard her music, they passed it to the president of Roc Nation, who personally reached out to Flau'Jae and told her that they wanted to sign her to Roc Nation's music label. And she has been signed to them since last year. It is so crazy how an opportunity for doing music with Roc Nation came all from her playing basketball. Now, today, Flau'Jae is still playing basketball for the LSU Tigers, as I said earlier, and is still rapping under the Roc Nation label. Also, she currently resides in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, while she is attending school. When Flau'Jae is not in school, she resides in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, Flau'Jae is currently single with no kids. Flau'Jae currently has over 770,000 followers on Instagram, over 130,000 subscribers on YouTube, almost 30,000 followers on Twitter, almost 500,000 followers on TikTok, and over 9,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Now, if you like this type of content, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share these videos, because when you do, it pushes my videos through the YouTube algorithm and gets my content out to more viewers. Thank you for watching. I will be back with more videos soon. Bye.